Howdy, y'all. I'm Jace, and I'm a sex addict. Each week, I come on and answer questions about my life as a person in recovery, or my addiction, or just as somebody out here figuring out what it means to be sexually healthy. But this week, I have a video that's incredibly special to my heart. It has now been an entire year since I put out my first video, naked in public. It has been It's been the best year of my life. It's been the most amazing, surprising, boy, was I wrong about a lot of things year of my life. I originally put out my first video because I had felt so alone in my addiction that I had come to a place where I was ready to kill myself because I thought there was, something inherently wrong with me. I thought it was this incurable thing that was just part of me that nobody else had or understood. I felt so isolated and alone. I was lying all the time. I was living this double life. I was so ashamed of who I was. And I just thought I destroyed everyone's life who I came into contact with and that I shouldn't be alive anymore. And it wasn't until I became aware of sex addiction and recovery for sex addiction that I realized, one, there's nothing I was born with that's wrong with me, aside from addiction being hereditary, but I wasn't this disgusting, evil, horrible person that I thought I was. Two, there's a whole lot of people out there just like me. They're just not talking about it. And that was the problem. Nobody was talking about it. And I would have benefited so much had someone been talking about it. So I thought, why not start talking about it? That was part of it. The other is that I had lived this double life as an addict for so long, and I found myself in recovery living this double life as well, where I couldn't tell people about my life in recovery either. That was just as stigmatized. It was meant to be just as shameful as my life as an addict. And people would say, hey, Jace, what's the difference? What's going on? You're so much more energetic, you're smiling more. And I would have to lie because I couldn't tell them, oh, well, I'm in, recovery for sex addiction and I'm doing this and that. I didn't feel like I could tell people that either. And I know a lot of others think that as well. And I thought that is it's just bullshit. I'm sorry, that's what it is. It's ridiculous. Being in recovery is something that I should get to be proud of. It's something everyone should be proud of. And being an addict isn't something people should be ashamed of either. And so on that, I thought, what's the quickest way to start talking about this and to let everyone in my life know what I'm going through? And of course, it was to post it online. I remember that day, oh, so well. I was so terrified. I had, a few friends who knew that I was an addict and they knew I was going to be going online with it. My family knew as well. I remember talking to one of my closest girlfriends right beforehand and just shaking. I mean, I was sick with fear. And, I was counting down to, an hour, half an hour, I'm here, I'm doing this thing, all this stuff. I was terrified. I can't remember ever being more scared in my life. And, everyone who knew I was going to do this video, they were so supportive. They were really helpful. A lot of them even put their own videos up afterwards, which was just an incredible sign of support, not just for me, but for what I was doing as well, which was saying, I have a problem. I'm messed up. So what? Find me a person who isn't. Why are we hiding? Why are we all hiding? And not just addicts. Why is everybody hiding the problems that they face, the challenges, the trials that they're up against that maybe have resulted in them making bad choices or losing their integrity for a moment, or just kind of losing the coherence with their inner self and outer self, just why are we all pretending that that's not happening to every single person most of the time, right? So, that's really what I wanted to say, and they were supportive of that idea and wanted to say that as well. They posted their own videos. When I hit post, I almost threw up. I started looking for the cancel button, the take it back button, the oh wait, what did I just do button. Doesn't exist. Welcome to the internet. And so it was out there. And right away, a lot of people in recovery who knew I was going to do this warned me, of course, not to do it. They warned me about the things that might come, the repercussions, the shame, the threats that might come from it. And I was ready, as ready as you can be. And I sat and I had prepared that weekend. That way I could answer questions from family coming in or friends or anybody who needed, some more information. I wasn't sure what the reaction was going to be to that. I even told some people close to me, hey, if you want to unfriend me on Facebook before I do this, I won't take offense to that. You might not want to be associated with this. That's fine. I understand you have a particular job, you have a family, that's okay. And so I anticipated some deletions as well. But what happened on that day 1 year ago and continues to happen is something that changed me forever. I don't think I can ever go back to how I used to be or who I used to be. From that first video and almost the entire year since, I have gotten almost no negativity sent my way. Very little shame. I've gotten no threats of any kind. Some people have threatened to defriend me, but go ahead. Like, that's not so bad. Defriend me if you'd like. I anticipated it. I have gotten no insults. I mean, very few. Very, very minor stuff. What I got instead was this unbelievable show of love and acceptance. People I had not talked to in years, were calling me, they're emailing me, they're hitting me up, had no idea this was going on. How are you doing? Do you need anything? I'm always here. You can call me anytime. We can talk anytime about anything. I'm here. People I hadn't talked to in, 10 years stood up and said, hey, if you need me, I'm here. Just tell me. I had family contact me, extended family, closer family as well, and say, I'm so sorry this was going on. I love you no matter what. I'm really proud of you. I'm glad you're getting the help you need. If you need anything from us, let us know. I mean, I thought I was the most afraid for my family. And what I got instead were, emails of just total love, no judgment, just this beautiful acceptance that I've always really wanted from my family, of course, and never thought I would get because of my behavior and my addiction. And, the whole being a terrible person thing kind of made me assume they wouldn't want anything to do with me. And that was only the beginning. What started happening soon after were friends of friends started reaching out. Hey, I watched your video, a lot of love going out. I'm sending prayers. I'm sending good vibes. I wish you the best. And people, who care? Why would people who've never met me care and take the time to send an email, to send, a message over or something, comment? That never occurred to me that would happen. And what happened after that was strangers, no connections to friends of mine, no connections I'd never met. We didn't live in the same city, same state, even same country, reaching out, saying, hey, I struggle with this too, or I don't struggle with this, but I struggle with, this other thing. Here's my issue. Other people posting videos that they're, imperfect and they're not afraid to say it. And just this flood of stories coming in, people sharing their life stories with me, their deepest struggles, their most shameful stories that they hadn't told anybody. They were then sharing them with me. And what I realized is I wasn't the only one who desperately needed human connection, who felt isolated. In a sea of people, I felt alone. And I found I was not the only one, that there are countless others who need that connection. Not a, hey, how's it going? Like a real, I'm being real, you're being real. Like I need people, not in a codependent way, but just, we're people. We're pack animals, we're designed to need community. And so many people don't have that. And that's what I realized, one of the things I realized with this video. The other, as I've continued on with these videos and sharing different parts of my life, insider information into my addiction or, my sex life or whatever it is, I thought that, people would really get upset with that or be very demoralizing. But honestly, online and in my regular life when I'm face to face with people, most folks are so wrapped up in their own issues, their own challenges, their own struggles they're going through, that they don't have time or energy to negatively reach out to somebody else. And it's not an insult thing, it's not a selfish thing. It's true, everybody has something going on, and they don't have time to get down on you for what you have going on. They don't have time to care that I'm a sex addict, or to judge me for it, or to really think much more past the couple of questions they ask me, right? And so I realized, it's like, in school, I was terrified to do public speaking and to get up in front of an audience. And it clicked one day where I realized when I'm in the audience, I'm not watching the presenter at all. I'm worried about my presentation, thinking about my next class. I'm thinking about the note that I gave to a friend to give to another friend. I wasn't watching the presenter at all, and I certainly wasn't judging them. I didn't care usually. I was more concerned about my life. And I think that's true. Middle school and beyond, out in the real world, everybody has their own stuff that they just don't have it in them to care enough to get down on you for your things. And of course, there are those there's the haters, the naysayers, people who want to point the finger at you so that nobody's pointing it at them. Yeah, those people exist, but I have found them in the vast minority. Other people are awesome. And that, I think, was the biggest thing for me is, I'd been going on thinking, it's just this dog-eat-dog world. Everybody's out to get their own. You have to protect yourself. You have to look out for number one because nobody else is going to do that. And, I was just shocked that, people will surprise you if you let them. If you open up to people, in a safe way, they will surprise you, almost every single one of them, with love and acceptance. Most people are wonderful, amazing, loving people. We got a whole world full of them who need to, reach out as well, who need that connection as well, and who are just waiting for somebody to stand up first and say, hey, I'm struggling. Hey, I need you. I could use someone to talk to about this. Hey, I feel alone out here. That's the human condition. We're all feeling alone. We're all needing somebody. We all need something. We're struggling, but we don't have to do it alone. That was one of the coolest things I learned this past year. After a lifetime of feeling alone, even when I had friends, even when I didn't know about addiction or anything like that, I've always felt alone, as long as I can remember. I just thought that was my plight in life, that, that's just how it is. And it's not, we are all wonderfully unique snowflakes. We're all very different, right? And our stories are different, and our experiences combined with our traits, and, yes, they all make us different. But I guarantee you that what you're going through is not so unique that no one else is going through it too, or couldn't understand, right? And I know what you're saying, Jace, no. You don't know my story. And you're right, I don't. However, I have heard so many stories this last year, both online, in person, other folks I've met, people who have brought other people to me, oh, you got to talk to so-and-so. I've heard hundreds of stories. And even more being a person in recovery as well, right? countless stories. And there are similarities between all of us. There just are. And I'm sorry if that makes you feel worse. It did for me. I wanted to feel like I was so unique. And we all are, right? But in actuality, our stories aren't so different that we can't find anybody else to share with, to connect with, to get help from. That was an excellent lesson for me to learn. And I think the coolest one, these were all super cool, but when I first started letting people know about my addiction, I was I was still ashamed about it. I'm a sex addict, don't tell anybody. I'm working on it. No, it's not my fault. I was ashamed. And people treated me that way back. They treated me like I had something to be ashamed of. And once I came out and was just open with it and have continued to be open with it, what I found is that people accept you when you accept yourself. There is nothing scarier than someone who loves and accepts themselves. People kept telling me, isn't it scary to be honest and tell people this stuff? And I thought, you know what? No. I'm the scariest person in the room. Anyone who accepts and loves themselves is the scariest person in the room because you can't do anything to them. They don't need validation from you. You can't manipulate that person. You can't pull on their struggles. They're already working on them. They already know. When people tell me, oh, Jace, you have this wrong with you, I'm like, brother, don't you know I know that? Like, I have been working on that for 3 weeks. Like, I know I got shit wrong with me. That's what I'm doing here, right? I don't need that from someone. I got this. And what I don't have, my higher power has, my support group has, my family has, my friends have, my loved ones, I got this. And that's been proven because before, honestly, my anger held me up. When I got up in the morning, I wouldn't have been able to stand. That anger was holding me up. And now I am just propped up by so much love. And I realize that's my responsibility now. I have been given thousands of examples of love. And now I got to go out there and give thousands of examples of love. I've been given such an amazing, unexpected, unbelievable gift this last year through the love and support you guys have shown me. Every single person who has sent me an email, who sent me a question, just a quick comment, sent a chat, gave me a call, gave me a hug when I looked like I needed one, asked me to be on their podcast, brought me in for an interview, said, what is this sex addiction thing? Let's learn more about what that looks like, right? Anybody who has said, I'm proud of you. I'm not ashamed of you. I love you. I accept you. You've changed me. You all have changed me this year. And I have so much gratitude for the examples you've set for me, the role models I have out there now. You all have taught me what love looks like and have allowed me to love myself. I don't know if that's something I'd ever give back, but that's my new mission. Yes, I want to, get the word out about sex addiction. I want to try to break the stigma of that. But my mission now is to set that example that you guys have set for me. Show people what it looks like to be loved just for them. Not because they can give something or get you in somewhere or introduce you to so-and-so. No. Just for being who they are. It's the most wonderful thing you can ever do for someone, and you all have done that for me this past year, week after week, day after day, comment after comment, video on video. You have been role models for me, and you have indeed changed me. And I thank all of you with every ounce of me for the new life that I get to live now as a result of that. This ain't over. Don't think you're getting rid of me now, though. I mean, it's not like a year and we're done. I will be putting these out continuously. You can still send me your questions. Yes, I'm stronger. Yes, I'm more capable. I'm on my 2 feet, but that doesn't mean I don't still need that love. I need that support, and give me that opportunity to send that back your way as well. So, I'm not leaving. I hope you guys won't either. This has been the absolute best year. I can't imagine this year ever being topped, but challenge accepted on that. You can always reach me on my website, suddenlycelibate.com. And I'll be seeing y'all next week. Until then, stay curious.